Hey guys, FRS guy here. Hey, guess what? The second generation 86 BRZ is not going to have a turbo. Well, no. We do know it's going to use the boxer engine. Okay, there's been some talk about the Toyota engine, or if it's going to be this. We know it's going to be another boxer engine because they want, again, the lowest center of gravity, and the boxer gives you the lowest center of gravity. And in either platform will accommodate the boxer engine. Which engine is it going to be? That is the big question. It sounds now about 90% that it's going to be the new FA24. So it doesn't sound like it's getting a turbo. Obviously, I think I know it. I did my old video. I'm going to have it somewhere in here, right? Yeah, it's not getting a turbo. I already knew that for a fact. Just the way they were talking and the things they were saying was not leading me to believe that I was going to have a turbo. I know how Toyota thinks. I worked for them for too long. They're not going to over horsepower this car. That's just not going to happen anymore. They're going to under horsepower it. But with the new 2.4, without a turbo, that's not bad news. That's still good news. If you go back to my other video, I'm estimating this more going to have 220, 225 to 240 horsepower. We have no idea the horsepower and the torque. We just don't. But if a 2-liter can make 200 horsepower, then a 2.4 liter should make about 240 horsepower. It goes without saying. Probably even should, with more efficient newer heads and cams, probably make 250 horsepower. They're probably not going to release it with quite that much. I'm going to say around the 220 to 240 range though. I would think if it comes in less than that, that'd be a little disappointing. But I would think the 225 to about the 220 to 240 range, that again gives you a 14-second car. That I think they're willing to do. Give you a 14-second flat car. I think the motor will be highly restricted in stock form because, again, this is a newer engine. It's much more efficient. It's larger displacement, so this engine should easily make 250 horsepower naturally aspirated. Easily. If they have the same high performance heads on here, or even better, what they're going to do, I would think, is like the FA20, is build a high performance version of this 2.4. Everybody's been wanting a turbo in this car. The only problem with that is you're going to get a weak turbo. There's no way they're putting a high horsepower engine in this car. It's just not going to happen. There's too many compromises, and you can't get the car that light if you build a car with that much power. So that is just not going to happen, okay? But even if they did put a turbo in it, that would be such a weak turbo motor that maybe even modifying it, you're only talking maybe 300 to 350 maximum horsepower. I mean, for a lot of people, that's good enough, okay? But for most of us who are buying these cars, that's like the bare minimum. You know, we're going to spend money buying it. We want more power than that, which is what this is going to give you. So it's bad news that there's no turbo, but it's good news because this engine is going to be much better, and you'll probably be similar, almost getting to that same horsepower as a turbo with just a tune. I'm going to assume they're going to have large valve, big port intakes, like the FA20. This is a do-it-yourself car. I think I made a video on that. I don't know if I posted that yet. This is a do-it-yourself car. This picture makes these ports look similar in size, but they're not. This BRZ intake flows much more than the WRX. These WRX, if you put bigger valves in them and fully port these, will only barely flow as much as the stock BRZ head. Because these intake ports are amazing. These flow the same as a Coyote. So it's pretty good flow on a 2-liter engine. That's why it has weak torque, because these heads, whoops, that's why it has weak torque, because these are high flow heads on a little engine, okay? So they definitely outflow the engine in stock form, so it's hard to build that torque because they build so much horsepower. That's why when you boost it, they respond so good, because they are good flowing heads, okay? So just because this engine is not turbocharged doesn't mean it's not going to be a good engine. Again, they're going to make a 400 horsepower version of this engine, And that's going to be with lower compression and probably medium boost. So you're talking maybe 10-to-1 compression with probably 15 pounds of boost, and you're going to be able to make 400 horsepower. Right? I don't think that's going to be a high boost motor. I don't think it's going to be crazy high compression on that in the STI. So you have to think, if it's capable of that those cylinder heads have to be capable of a lot of horsepower. That's 100 more horsepower than on the current STI. So that's pretty good. Which means that that means that those cylinder heads are that much better. And I would assume there's going to be a version of those cylinder heads on the BRZ and or on the BRZ. So the fact that it's not getting turbo is not bad news. I think that's actually good news. Okay, if they build it properly. Okay, if they're going to put good pistons in it. The biggest problem is putting tougher connecting rods in it. I hope that they learn their lesson and they're going to put some good connecting rods in there. Because if you go to a 2.4 with those high flowing heads, big camshafts, hopefully high compression again. Hopefully it's like 12.5-to-1 compression again, super high compression. And now you boost it. You can throw 10 pounds of boost on it. We're gonna be 350, 400 horsepower on low boost. Okay, this engine will easily make another 50 horsepower over the current BRZ engine if they're doing it properly. From what I'm gathering, just even if they had the same cylinder heads with a bit larger displacement, you're gonna make 20, 30, 40, 50 more horsepower just on that alone. Okay, and if these heads have bigger valves, they flow more, they fix some things from the old heads to these cylinder heads, the cylinder heads are going to get better. The camshafts are going to get better. They learn things. This engine is 7 years old, so they've learned a lot since then. Look how good this Ascent engine runs. And that's the little small port, small valve van engine. And these engines run beautiful. Okay, they figured something out with this engine. So they're making it much better. The FA20 was good, and this engine's gonna be a vast improvement. And now we're gonna get those updated cylinder heads, those updated camshafts, and then hopefully, yeah, they're putting in we know there's a stronger crank coming, and then hopefully they put in some good connecting rods. If they put in connecting rods that can withstand 500 horsepower, this car is gonna be amazing. And that's all I have to say about that. Again, you're talking 260 horsepower on this van engine. I think there's adders already. There's tuning kits for these things. But that's not the engine you want. You don't want to max out at 300, 350 horsepower. Okay? You want to start at 300 and be able to go to 400 or 500. For those of us that are modding these cars, you can get this boxer engine and get a turbo kit and it's making 500 horsepower and it's not braking. That's going to be amazing. Okay, and then that's what you're going to want. Yes, you don't have bragging rights from the factory. You don't need bragging rights. Okay, because it all comes down to your modifications. And this is a do-it-yourself car. I hope this car still is $25,000. I don't want anything special in it. I want a good radio. I want a backup camera. I do want that. Other than that, you don't need steering wheel controls. Anyone who wants steering wheel controls, go buy a different car. Oh, it made me mad. That's extra weight. Anything that adds weight you don't need. You need power windows, you need air conditioning, decent radio, and that's about it. That's about it for this car. And then build a good, solid engine. If you're going to spend money on it, put those connecting rods in it, put these cylinder heads on there, put a good cam on it. Maybe, yeah, they'll probably redesign this intake system for the turbo. A high-flowing intake manifold, which again is going to hurt power when it's naturally aspirated. You put an intake on here that's designed for 500 horsepower, it's not going to run good on a naturally aspirated car, you know, without the turbo. But when you add your turbo on it, it's going to scream. It's going to be a monster. You know, they're going to have to put a bigger valve, the throttle body on here from the old one. So they're going to do all these little things, hopefully, that gives us a nice package. And the nice thing about it is that I don't think this engine is that much different. A lot of the things, these superchargers and turbo kits, are probably going to almost bolt right on. You're only going to probably need slightly different brackets. Like I say, maybe there's a larger throttle body because this is a bigger engine. The 2.4 can probably take a bigger throttle body. And that's about it. So you're going to different throttle body maybe. Larger intake. and then all your brackets and everything, I don't think this stuff changes. This looks just like my motor. You know, it's like that. It's all the same. So you might be able to take your power adders right from this car to the next one, and then the only thing you have to wait for is your tuning software. And then hopefully, again, like they've improved like the oil flow, right? Oil flow, maybe a better oil pump, better camshafts, better heads, bigger valves. The problem with these engines is those crappy exhaust ports. Okay, hopefully they're fixing that. Hopefully they're going away from that boxer design. I would rather buy a new header than be able to use the old header. Hopefully they change that. I think part of the limitation of those boxer ports is because of the frame design. And if they're going to go to that Toyota chassis, then they can go to better exhaust ports. And I'm telling you what, if they put better exhaust ports on this engine, it's going to be a monster. So that's it. They're not turboing it. I don't care. I'll either turbo or supercharge it. I'm probably going to be... This thing comes out with 220 to 240. If this thing comes out with 240 horsepower, I'm buying one. I'm probably placing an order on it before it even gets there. You know, if it's 220 horsepower or less, I'm probably going to get one, but I might not pre-order it. I might wait till it's out and then see what mods are available for it. But if it comes out with more than 225 horse, comes out with 230 or 240 horse, I think I'm just buying it sight unseen. You know, unless I have a picture of it, but I'll probably just automatically get it. So that's what we're getting. I think this motor is going to be very capable. I am very looking forward to it. It would be nice to have if I could get this car 450 horsepower and safe and not have to worry about breaking anything, 400 to 500 horsepower would be amazing. And in that light of a car, it's just stupid. That's going to be a stupid fast car. Like I say, if they build this engine the right way and put good parts on it, as soon as people figure out what this car can do, they're going to sell a million of them. And it's going to come down to the looks after that. If it looks good, this engine's going to rock. It's going to come down to that engine. Then it's going to come down to what transmissions are in there. Hopefully the drivetrain can hold up to the power. And there's good transmissions, and there's transmission tuning. And that's going to be one of the limitations, is what parts are available. I hope they redo these cylinder heads, so we need all new headers. I don't care about that. I don't want to reuse. I'd rather have the more horsepower than reuse my old header. But if they keep the similar cylinder heads, you're going to be able to use your headers from the old cars, your intakes from the old car. I mean, everything will transfer over. The only thing you're going to need is different is a tune. You could literally take everything off your car, bolt it on the new one, and get a tune. So if you already have some of those parts now, all you do is take those off your car, put them on the new one. So you don't need a turbo because you're already going to have one. You're not going to need a supercharger because you already have that. So they'll probably have conversion kits maybe or something, or someone will make parts to convert your old parts to the new motor. And that's it. But hopefully they change these exhaust ports so you do need a new header. So the exhaust ports are horrible. They just had a straight flow design. The intake is so beautiful and the exhaust is terrible. And they're going to improve the intake, put bigger valves in it, probably better cams. They need to fix those exhaust ports and fix them weak connecting rods. And then this will easily be a high horsepower engine, which would be more than enough in that little car. I think I'm at 350 now, and it's crazy fun. If I could have 450, that will be a car. That'll be a great car. And that's all I got. So yeah, no turbo, naturally aspirated. It's just what I figured to begin with. Not a surprise. I was going to do a video on this before. I never did. But here it is. That's what we're getting. What else do I have for an update? Toyota has been updating their manual transmissions, so there'll probably be another Toyota manual transmission in there. I don't really have a lot of information on it, but again, like the automatic, they're making this lighter and more efficient. Your rotating mass is going down. It's supposed to be just as strong, slightly smaller, and slightly and more efficient. So they're making these transmissions more efficient, lighter, easier to change gears. So they have been improving it. I don't know if this is the transmission that'll go in there, but Toyota doesn't do many manual transmissions, but the ones they do have, they're improving. So it'll probably be an updated 6-speed manual for the automatic, hopefully one of those 8 or 10 speeds in there. With the 2.4 it would be, again, I'll take it. That's it. Subscribe, like, and share. Give me a thumbs up. More content's coming. Working on the project. We're still cold here in Wisconsin. I think the drag strip just opened on Friday. I didn't make it down. I have to get there in the day where I can actually have time to make runs. But I'm waiting for parts. They're on the way. They're not here yet. And then we can go to the drag strip and make official runs. Subscribe, like, and share. Thumbs up. Thanks. Bye.